That's it. You're getting it. Can you start to visualise like racks and racks and racks of DVDs come flying towards you in a completely white room?
Yes. I see it, Max.
Oh. So at the end of this, we can all go and look for movies together. Just be careful, because last time this happened, Trent got trapped.
I can feel the movies.
Can you? Are you being overwhelmed by cinematic vibes?
Oh, yeah, I can feel it.
Can I not be percussion next time?
Maybe movies.
Did you know? Hello. Sorry, 1 second. We're in the middle of something. By about 8 or 9 episodes, we're now ahead of Best of the Worst.
Are we really?
They're only on like 113 or 114.
Good lord.
But they've got it where it counts in terms of subscribers and viewers and
Things like that. They also have videos that are literally an hour and a half to 2 hours long.
yes. Anyway, hello.
Hi.
Bonjour.
Thank you for joining us again. Welcome back to Maybe Movies. My name is Max.
I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
Are you sure?
We should say at this point, just before we started filming, we had a slight calamity, as a result of which Chris, who seems to have a love of the popcorn, is now eating buttcorn. Make of that what you will. If you are new to the channel, we bid you most welcome. And please do all the usual. Do like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment. And again, especially if you are a content creator, do leave us a comment and we will add you to our list of future shout-outees.
Indeed.
Please do.
Join us.
As we're going to do with today's shout-out, which is for another recent subscriber.
Okay.
Yep, this is for ShaneyG, who...
Sounds cool.
He is cool. He does a lot of gaming content, a lot of live gameplay content.
Okay, like Let's Plays and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
was watching him playing one of the Yakuza games.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good fun, and I feel your pain, man. That was a harsh fight. One of the end of level bosses, and he'd run out. He had like 1 or 2 healing potions left, and this guy would just not go down.
Do you know which Yakuza game it was?
Off the top of my head, no. I'm sure somebody will fill in the blanks. Anyway, let's have a look at Act 2. So yes, if you were here with us on Wednesday, you'll know that we've leapt into Toy Play, which is our new vision of Toy Story, where Buzz Lightyear has been replaced with Chucky from Child's Play. And of course, it's the proper Child's Play, not the dubious remake.
The Mark Hamill version.
Mark Hamill was the best thing about that version.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I was quite impressed.
Again, as we said, concept was fine. It shouldn't have been called Child's Play. Make it its own
Something
thing.
else?
It did also make me think, as we've called this Toy Play,
story.
if we do get to let Chucky off the leash, should we have a bit where Chucky beats somebody to death with a personal massager?
Right,
What? It's just
Come on, Sam.
lowering the tone.
Act
Is it?
2.
Act 2.
Act
Act 2, yes.
Okay, before we get on to Act 2,
Oh, good lord, what now?
a quick word from our sponsors. And the sponsor for this video is us. Maybe Movies is part of the Zadrum channel, which is part of Zadrum, a small business that I started in 2016 to bring the works of 3 generations of writer to a new reading audience. This was kind of like a side project which has taken off and taken on a life of its own, which is fantastic. So at the moment we have 3 books out, one by each of our authors. The first of which, and the one that really kind of started the whole thing off, is Verboten, which was written by my grandfather under his pseudonym Sidney Esmond and was published in 1940. Like a lot of my grandfather's early books, they were written during and set against the backdrop of World War II. And this one is about Harry Deller, an English schoolteacher who, on an exchange program in Germany, finds himself having to cope with allegations of espionage by the local Gestapo at the start of the Second World War. We then have the refugees from Daffodil Cottage, which was the only work published by my father during his lifetime, and it's a children's book, and kind of pitched perfectly for children of 7 or 8 years over. It has similarities to things like Watership Down, with a little bit of the animals of Farthing Wood, and I think one reviewer said that it had just a smattering of Animal Farm in there as well. And then we have Book of Squalor, which is my own entry into our list of titles at the moment. It's a collection of short horror fiction comprising some prose, some poetry, and even a short screenplay as well. All 3 of the books are available as paperback or as ebooks, either from our Zadrum website, a link in the description below, or also from Amazon as well. But of course, if you are going to buy, then please do come and buy from our shop, because that way you'll know that we're going to get more of the money than Amazon will, and maybe we can just stop Jeff Bezos destroying Lord of the Rings any more than he already has. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for listening, and now back to the show.
Right, so they're at the gas station.
Yes.
The fight has just happened.
While Woody's doing his, oh no, I'm a lost toy.
Oh, the lost toy.
Chucky goes off to kill the guy working in the gas station.
Just to let off some steam.
Yeah.
Yes, we should, because nobody's actually died yet. This needs to happen.
Yeah.
This is, after all, an R-rated cartoon.
More
we
deaths.
need to earn our rating.
Pulls out the fuel nozzle, so it's kind of leaking fuel all over the place. So
Yeah.
the guy comes out.
Running around in the background.
Yeah, because that would still work, because if he does that, the whole gas station goes up. So again, obviously, we lose the big truck arriving, but the whole gas station goes up. The guy from the Pizza Planet place just pulls over like, whoa, gnarly, as he's watching it. Yeah, and that's the time. That's the time for them.
Yeah.
And it's probably just Woody's like, I've got to get away from here. He sees the thing. He goes to get in. Chucky follows him.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Woody doesn't have the same impetus here. He doesn't have to bring Chucky back to convince the others that he did a bad thing.
We might have a small problem on our hands, like, plot-wise. We need to get to the point where Chucky knows that he needs to put his soul into Andy to get to any kind of real third act. How are we going to do that? Because, I mean, it's obviously, we're leading him on the trail that Toy Story follows, but that doesn't take Chucky where he needs to go.
That calls up something that we didn't address or touch on too much last time, which is the bit where they're looking out the window watching Sid blow up the little soldier, Combat Carl.
Right, yeah.
Just rewinding slightly, you'd probably get a bit more like, hey, I like that kid, from Chucky.
Yeah, I figured as much myself.
It's a bit of a stretch, but when they get to Sid's got a book on voodoo. And again, as I said, it's a stretch.
I'd be more comfortable with him just already knowing that he has to transfer his soul.
I was just thinking that, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I would probably just... Okay.
But then again, you both had the same idea.
Well, usually you guys just steal all my ideas.
Come on, dude.
No, I didn't say anything.
You can both have one.
Sam has
and this one. Is that okay? Do you agree? No, you just
say
said
in the comments, please.
Okay, if people say in the comments that they think that you should have one as well, we'll give you one.
Right now?
So tell us, people, please, let us know. Should he have one?
Please.
That makes sense that he already knows. That he learned that before he was taught the ritual.
Otherwise, we have to drag him out of the plot to go and see a voodoo man for some random reason.
Yes. It should be Frozone from The Incredibles. So, Woody sees the Pizza Planet truck, goes and jumps in to try and just get away from Chucky.
Yes.
Because he can't believe what he's just seen him do. And Chucky kind of goes, oh yeah, that's where they're going. And I'm coming for you next, Sheriff. Which kind of made me think as well, it's like we don't really need in this a foil for Chris Sarandon, because we've got one in Woody as a sheriff.
Yeah, he is. Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, that is a really good point.
But he's not going to investigate into any murders. He knows straight away that it is Chucky, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he is our cop insert.
Yeah, I guess he is.
But doesn't have the power and authority of a real cop either, so it kind of balances.
Yeah. Do we have Chucky go and jump in, like with Woody in the back of the Pizza Planet truck, or does he just run around and the guy's like, oh wow, good guys, yeah, chucks it on the front seat?
Yeah, it could do. It could just be like, I can give this to my
girlfriend,
my
my
girlfriend,
niece,
my sister,
my kid brother, whatever.
So we still get that little bit when he's driving around and Woody's being thrown around the back of the truck.
Yeah. He's in the front seat grinning away.
Yeah.
He's still got to throw in a moment where Chucky is smoking a cigarette, I feel. Have we missed that opportunity? I feel like we need a moment that he's smoking while...
That could be now when they get... Obviously, when they get to Pizza Planet.
This as popcorn is fantastic, man.
I'm glad you like it. I'll prepare more for next time.
Butt corn for the win.
Popcorn.
Yeah, so when they get to Pizza Planet, the guy gets out and wanders off. Woody's just going to get straight out because he wants to find Andy.
Yeah.
And then Chucky's like, oh, finds like...
Are they under the truck?
No, because they're in the...
No, never mind the cigarette. He finds a joint in the ashtray.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah. So Chucky gets stoned while hanging out with Woody.
You can have a moment where Woody's trying to berate him and like, what the hell, you're a toy, you're not supposed to do this. And again, how many times, man, I'm not a fucking toy.
Yeah. He can even say, you are a toy! You don't smoke weed!
Oh, the heck with it.
You are a child's plaything!
I can imagine him sitting in the front seat and this being a conversation being held through the back of the truck sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then at some point, and Woody's just like, oh, the heck with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you anyway. And then, and the sound of the back of the van opening and closing. And Chucky sort of looks in the rearview mirror or looks out the window and sees the little cup dancing across the car park.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. I do. Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Gold star?
On a roll here.
Definitely.
Goodness me.
Woody goes in to Pizza Planet. Ooh. What about he takes he's like, he's still taking on the joint.
Yeah.
But he starts coughing
Uh-huh.
and then coughs up a glob of blood.
Oh, starts to realise he's becoming human.
Yeah, so that's gives him the motivation to follow him into Pizza Planet to go and find Andy.
I like that.
Gives the audience a little bit of like, oh, he's not like other, and then
Yeah.
her first pinpoint.
We might lose the aliens because there's no reason for him to go and climb into that. Plus also, I mean, again, it's one of those things. It's a cartoon, it doesn't really matter. I mean, would a good guys be able to fit into that hatch to get through there anyway?
Well, because Hollywood would say yes.
Yes, exactly, yeah. But there's no reason for him to go in there.
Well, do we want him to not go to Sid's house?
We do, but it's just...
So then...
We just have to figure out how we're going to
Right.
have him being found by Sid. I mean, it's a shame because the aliens are great.
So maybe it's just as simple as, like, there's that bit when they sneak up and they're in between the different arcade machines. And Woody's like, okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, jump. And
hey, look! Yeah.
he goes to follow him. Sid spots him. And he just ends up, like, leaned up against one of the machines, just like...
That'll be the easiest way. Again, it's a shame we lose the... I mean, we can still have the aliens. We can have Sid just at the machine. He gets the alien that he wins.
Oh, yeah,
And as he
Gus
turns
is
around,
going to
hey!
love this.
Yeah. So Chucky's caught up with Woody and he's like trying to get rid of him and then they feel the eyes kind of turning towards him and then they freeze. And he goes, oh, wow!
Yeah.
And again, we can do that thing by, as he picks them up and turns away, that you see Andy and his family go past. So again, just within a hair's breadth.
Oh, we know as the audience.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. And that gets us to Sid.
Are they in Sid's backpack? Sorry, at this point?
Yeah.
Together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chucky finds something in Sid's backpack, like a what do you call it? Stanley knife type thing in his backpack and starts threatening Woody with it. But stay out of my way, good sheriff, or I'm going to cut your arms off.
I'm going to rip the stuffing out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Or I'll strangle you with your own pull cord.
Oh, yes, I like that.
That's nasty.
That's a line,
I like
bitch.
it. Yeah,
Yeah?
go on, give the man a star.
absolutely.
That's nasty. I like it. Yeah, that's a good threat.
Thank you. So they're in the backpack. And
Yes.
Sid goes into his room, throws the backpack on the bed, sees all the dismantled, ugly toys.
Does the bit with Hannah's, is it Hannah? Yeah.
Hannah's
With the
pterodactyl.
Yes,
and
and the doll.
Chucky's enjoying this,
Yeah, of course he is.
and Woody is those parallel opposites. They're just literally
Yeah.
Woody's freaking out. So as soon as Sid goes out of his room,
Those Pop-Tarts. Oh no, that's the next day, isn't it?
Yeah. But the Pop-Tarts is that day.
Of course it is, yes. Yeah, because he goes out the room because Hannah goes and complains to his mum.
Whatever she says, she's lying.
Yeah. And so you get that bit with Woody going, oh my god, I've got to get out of here.
And Chucky's like, no, I think I like this place. I kind of like the way this kid thinks. He probably looks at all those tools and starts picking up like that. If he didn't have a Stanley knife already, he's got one now.
Yeah.
I think he actually admires Sid.
Yeah.
He doesn't fully comprehend what Sid's been doing. Or what Sid's going to do.
If he hasn't properly revealed that he's alive to Andy yet, do we get a moment where he might want to swap and...
I
and
did say
actually
about
take
him
over Sid?
talking to Andy before, but we never said whether or not he actually revealed he was alive. But we did say that he knows he needs to transfer his body into... So...
my first thought was, would he then want to take over Sid if he hasn't already revealed himself to Andy? But what about if he reveals himself to Sid to enlist Sid's help to help him take over Andy, because then he can be his playmate?
Forever?
We've got similar tastes, but I'm just a doll. But if I was in Andy's body, I could be your best friend. I don't know. Again, just off the top of my head.
I was thinking in a different direction. I was thinking that it would go pretty much the way that it does in Toy Story, that Chucky ends up with a rocket strapped to him, and he decides to go after Sid because of it.
Yeah, no, that's better.
I like that one.
That's better.
Once again, subverts one of the scenes. It leads, obviously this is next act, but in the next act, when they reveal themselves, they're not revealing themselves to frighten him, but to protect him.
Yes. Yeah, that makes perfect... Oh, yeah. Yeah, take it. Oh, I'd say... Yeah.
Okay.
That solves a lot of problems, yeah. We're still getting Sid's toys are the same, that they are the benevolent toys that...
The benevolent freaks that they are.
Yeah. Which would be great, because Chucky will initially think that they're like him, that they're monstrous things.
Yes.
And then they start railing against him as well.
Yeah. So, like, when they first appear from under the bed, he'd be like, yeah, come on, help me fucking beat up Woody and duff him up and rip his guts out. And
that'd be a great scene. So, I mean, again, we'll need to structure it better. There's a possibility of having some nice piece of action where you have Chucky against Sid's toys, and as he's kind of hitting them, grab Sid's tools and tearing them to pieces, they're just putting themselves back together
again,
into something bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's like this, like a toy kaiju fight between Chucky and...
I like it. I don't know if it works, but I do like it.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it's just where do we want to drop it in? I mean, that should really be in Act 3. It should be part of the climax. That would work in the stakes with like moving down, things like that. Or we can have it in Act 2 as just a bit of action.
I would like to have it in Act 2 because that's what would what would stop Chucky for long enough for Sid to then come back upstairs and start strapping him to the great big rocket, and for Chucky to realise, actually, no, he's in the shitter too.
Okay. Should we have it then? Is it Scuzz or is it Scud, the dog?
Scuzz or Scud?
Yeah. Chucky tries to take out Scud. And because, I mean, obviously, yes, they're afraid of the dog.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between, oh my god, I'm afraid of a dog, and that toy's just tried to kill something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we get that sort of conflict and that big fight, and then Sid comes back up and all his toys are all over the room.
Of course, yeah.
Massacre.
Yeah.
And Scuzz is sitting outside the door looking guilty.
So this could be then our replacement for Buzz trying to go out the window. This is our climax to Act 2. Does that work? Because we're not going to get that moment of truth for Chucky.
He knows he's not a toy.
Yeah,
he knows he's real.
Yeah, but
the bit when Buzz sees the commercial and realises it's actually a toy and all
Randy
that shit.
Newman singing over it.
Yes. You love Randy Newman.
I love Randy Newman.
He makes you Randy.
Oh, what song was that though? Anyway.
I Will Go Sailing No More, I think is what it's called.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't have that sequence on.
So you'd have a defeated Chucky, but he'd be defeated by the defence of the other toys.
Yes. And then that's when
Sid comes upstairs. It arrived! It came!
So we've still got Woody hiding under the box.
Yeah.
Because he was probably hidden under the box from Chucky.
Yeah, exactly.
So so we could even have a bit where Chucky's trying to get at him through the box.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's when the toys...
I'll kill you, I'll rip your guts out, I'll rip your stuff out. Goddamn.
The big one.
The big one.
The big one. It came! But yeah, then he would get strapped to this thing.
Yeah.
Which even though he's... Like, try doing that. Try unstrapping something from your back. Even if he is a toy with no... with flexible joints, it's not going to be easy for him to get out of it, so he'll be stuck.
So in the fight with the toys, he has been injured, so he's bleeding from somewhere. Which is why
Babyhead's made out of
like Meccano, isn't it?
Meccano, thank
Yeah.
you. I was trying to remember what it was. But that's metal. That could
Yeah,
cause
he's
some
got
damage.
pincers and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got some damage. So he's trying to repair himself, which is why nothing much happens overnight,
Yeah.
as opposed to Buzz just being depressed and not doing anything.
It's
He's
Chucky trying to stem his wounds.
Yeah, I like it, and that brings us to the end of Act 2.
Oh, it does. It does, doesn't it?
We're up to Act 3 and moving day.
Woo!
Oof. Fantastic. It's still R-rated, but again, it's been a bit light. We've only lost really one human so far.
Yeah, the R-rated because of the language.
Yes. I did wonder if earlier on, probably in Act 1, you might get a bit where Chucky tries it on with Bo Peep.
I like it.
Sexual harassment.
Way too far.
Way too far. Way too far.
We are going to jump back into this next week and get on to Act 3. Until then, as always, have a great weekend, have a great start to next week, and we will see you on Wednesday.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Goodbye now.
Ba 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 ba.